Hey, it's only about 12 hours after the game ended. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Phew, needed that one. The Mariners absolutely needed that W. They defeat the Rays 5-2. They improved to 46-37 on the season. They maintain a 4.5 game lead in the AL West. And they finish up a very disappointing road trip with a nice win. And I always say it, when you win the last game of a series or of a trip or anything like that, it just makes it a little bit easier. The flight is a little bit nicer. The food tastes a little bit better. The day off tomorrow is going to feel much better for this baseball team. Before I dive any further, do me a favor, smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're new or lurking. Thank you again to all the new subs and the old ones as well. I appreciate all your support, and comment your thoughts on the game down below. But yeah, big picture, a win it really felt like the team needed, because of course Houston wins again today, because I don't think Houston's going to lose another game the rest of the season. And you just, if you would have left that road trip 2-7, 3.5 games up, a day off, it just doesn't feel good. And you've got a tough Minnesota team coming in. They needed a win just to right that ship a little bit. A win today did not make up for a poor road trip. It doesn't. This was not a good road trip. Truthfully, this was not a good series for the Seattle Mariners. But man, it feels a lot better to walk out of there with a win. And it just, I think no win this year has maybe summed up the better than this one. It at least gives us some decent vibes going into the day off and a chance to reset a little bit for the homestand, right? You know, you can kind of sit there and go, okay, got to win. Let's get back home. It's going to be tough. Minnesota, Baltimore, and then Toronto. So it is not going to be easy, but you certainly feel better after winning the game today that, maybe you can get something done here on this homestand. So a real nice win. And listen, yes, it stinks that division lead has gone from 10 to 4.5 in the last week. That is absolutely brutal. It's going to be a dogfight. It is going to be a fight with Houston. I honestly don't know about Texas. I'm pretty confident the Mariners are better than Texas. They are getting healthier. We'll see what happens. But even with the Mariners' little swoon here, I'm just not super. Where is Texas in the standings right now? How far back are they? Let me go to the standings. I think they're 7.5 back. Texas is jumped up 7.5 behind you. It's not that I'm counting them out. I'm pretty confident the Mariners are the better team right now. Houston, I'm not sure. I think there's signs the Mariners are better, but Houston does scare me coming on. Now, one good thing to remember with the Mariners, they do have the tiebreakers over this team as of right now. A lot of baseball left, but the Mariners are 5-2 against Houston, and they're 5-1 against Texas. So you do feel pretty good there as well. The 4.5 game lead is basically 5.5. Now you still play Houston 6 more times, but if you can win 2 of those, you're going to have the tiebreaker over them. So let's go ahead and get into this victory for the Mariners. It started out looking like it was going to kind of be another one of these games. They were down 1-0 going into the 6th inning. And, here we go again. Just no offense, nothing. And then finally get a little bit of a spark. JP walked in the 6th. I thought Julio had a tremendous at-bat. His walk in the 6th inning was one of his better at-bats of the season. It was an at-bat where we've seen Julio chase. It's an at-bat where we've seen Julio try and do too much. Took his walk after, I think, being down 1-2 in the count. Gets on base, and then boom, the big dumper. Cal had a real nice series here in Tampa. Goes deep, 3-1. Mariners add on 2 in the 7th. Go up 5-1. It got dicey in the 9th. It cannot be easy. And I hope Munoz is okay and there's no injury stuff. I haven't really checked. I haven't been very active in the social media front today, but Munoz walks the first 2, hits a batter, bases are loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. And I was at work, so I was listening to the game on the radio, and I'm thinking, here we go. And when you're struggling like this, it's never easy. That first win after, scuffling, and I know the Mariners only lost 3 in a row. It wasn't like they were in a 10-game losing streak, but just the way they've been playing on this road trip, it wasn't going to be easy. And kudos to Trent Thornton, comes in and does fantastic. And Thornton's kind of pushed past the bugaboo if he can't pitch well with inherited runners, because I think he's stranded 9 out of the last 10 inherited runners that he's come in with. And the only one that did score was the one today. And that was bases loaded, nobody out, and he gave up 1 run. I don't care if he gives up 3 runs in that instance. You just need to get outs. So a really, really nice job by Trent Thornton. He deserves a lot of credit. George Kirby was fantastic. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walk, 7 Ks. Yesterday, I talked about how they needed Luis Castillo to step up and be the ace. They needed a strong start, a start to just, you need that starting pitcher to go out and dominate. Not just 5 1/3, 3 earned runs, not 5 innings, 2 earned runs, a solid 6 or 7 shutout innings. And you got that from Kirby. He did give up the 1 run. And of course, the 1 run was scored on just more ridiculousness. A ground ball hit to Kirby. Ty was going to cover, I think, to get the ball. So Kirby tries to run to first to get the out, doesn't get there in time. And then Caballero comes around from second and scores. So, even the 1 run Kirby gave up now is super frustrating at the time. But looking back on it now, it was kind of a fluky run. So I thought Kirby was tremendous today, and they needed it in a series that's been tough. A Rays team that's been super pesky against the Mariners. Kirby was fantastic. Austin Voth, a shutout 7th. Ryan Stanek gives up the 1 hit to Caballero in the 8th, but gets a strikeout. We can talk about how good Ryan Stanek has really been the last few weeks. He has gone from more, decent middle reliever to legitimate setup man. He has looked really, really good. And a guy now that I talked about early in the year where I like Stanek, but I don't know how much I trust him in certain situations. I'm at the point where I trust Ryan Stanek. Now, I think Brash and Santos fully healthy are better? Yes. But if you have bases loaded, nobody out, I'm willing to go to Ryan Stanek. I'm willing to give him a shot in those situations. He has earned my trust. Not that he needed to earn my trust specifically, but he is now firmly in the camp of I trust that reliever. Munoz had a tough outing. A little concerned because the velocity looked down for Andres Munoz. So I do have some concerns. Maybe the back was just bothering him a little bit today. Kind of reminded me of the Milwaukee game where Munoz didn't blow the lead, but blew a tie game in the bottom of the 9th. Just a rough outing. I'm hoping that's all it is, and Munoz is fine. You got a day off tomorrow. We'll see how he looks on Friday. The bullpen certainly can't take a blow to Andres Munoz, but you want him healthy as well. So whatever they need to do to get Munoz healthy. Good news is it sounds like Santos is really close to beginning of a rehab assignment. So that's huge. But rough outing. I'm not going to get on Munoz too much. He has saved this team so many times this season that he deserved a day when the Mariners could save him. It's frustrating that it's at the end of a brutal road trip and they almost blew it, but he deserves to be bailed out too. And Trent Thornton, just phenomenal job. 2 ground balls, 2 double play balls to get out of it, essentially. They couldn't quite turn the first one on. I think it was Palacios, but they do turn it on Rosario. Great job by Thornton. Didn't even let it get dicey. Bases loaded, nobody out. Comes in and boom, 2 batters, game over. Tremendous job by Trent Thornton. He deserves a ton of accolades in that game. Offensively, the Mariners 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, do strike out 13 times. I mean, we just got to face it at this point that this team's just going to strike out. You just hope that they get enough runs to make it still work, essentially. J.P. Crawford had a real nice game, 2 for 3, had the 2-run single in the 7th, also worked a walk. That was in the 6th inning where the Mariners took the lead. JP on base 3 times. Tough day for Rojas, 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. Not a good game for Julio, but I will give him credit. That walk was a really, really nice at-bat against former Mariner, former friend Sean Armstrong. So I will definitely give Julio some credit there. That was a nice at-bat. Not good overall. Again, I can harp on it. We can keep harping on it. Julio isn't where they need him to be, but a good at-bat there, which, helped create the big inning for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh, great game on base 3 times with 2 walks and the 3-run home run. Really good series for Cal. That's his 14th home run, hit a couple home runs in this series. Yesterday hit a line drive that I thought was not going to get out, but be down for a double. Cal had a good series. He was one of the few guys that really did. Ty was 0 for 4. Mitch Garver, 1 for 4. Canzone was 1 for 3. Robles pinched hit was 0 for 1. And Demo and Ryan Bliss were combined 0 for 7. Moore 0 for 3. Bliss 0 for 4. Luke Raley was scratched. Did we get any news on that? Let me check Twitter because Luke Raley was scratched before the game. Let me see if there was anything going on with Luke Raley real quick. Check old Twitter. I've just not been on any social medias today, so I'm not really sure if we heard anything. I don't see anything as to why Luke Raley was scratched. Sore shoulder. Let's see. This is from RotoWire. Mariners manager Scott Servais Scott Lab have wins with this sore shoulder. Wouldn't loosen up. They don't seem too concerned. Hopefully be ready to go this weekend against Minnesota after the off day. So good to see. Doesn't sound like a big deal there, but yeah, Raley was scratched from the lineup. So that's why Bliss ended up in there because Dylan Moore went to, I'm assuming he went to the out. Yeah, Moore was in left field tonight. So Bliss ended up coming in and going to second base. So, Cal really the hero. It's Cal and JP, really the two guys that had the big game. JP also, one of his hits was a double. So JP with a single, a double, and a walk. Good game. Cal as well. Julio's walk, I thought, was a really, really nice at-bat. Again, not where we want Julio to be on the year, but I'll praise when I see good things. And, we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. So, Mariners get a big win. A bum road trip, but, they avoided a sweep. It's one thing they've been really good at this year. They've not been swept yet this season. I thought they would. I just didn't see it. The way this road trip has gone, it just felt like a game and a series where they were going to get swept. And I know, grand scheme of things, does that change a whole lot? No, but I don't know why, but man, that felt like a big win. I think it just allows them, and I say, I know I'm repeating myself from the beginning of the video, but when you can win that last game, I guarantee you those guys got on the plane. Were they happy with the road trip? No, they shouldn't be. It was a bad road trip. They were terrible on this road trip. There's no mincing words there. But at least you can sit and go, okay, got the W today. Feeling a little bit better. Now we know we got a day off tomorrow. Coming home when we've played really good baseball. Logan Gilbert on the mound on Friday. Let's get back to it, reset ourselves, and get back into that winning mode. And a win today just kind of allows you to reset yourself a little bit. Houston can't gain any ground on you. You keep it that 4.5 game lead. You actually gain a game on Texas, truthfully. So I think a big win. I really do. This one felt good. There's some where the team is rolling. It just feels great to keep the wins going. This felt like just a good win to stop. It wasn't I wouldn't say bleeding. I think a lot of it was just the Mariners were struggling. Houston couldn't lose. So the losses looked a lot worse because we saw that 10-game lead go to 4.5. If Houston had played anything normal the last week, that lead might still be at 7.5, 8. So you've withstood Houston's hot streak. Not saying Houston won't keep continuing to win. They might. But you withstood it. You got back on track today. Again, stinks that the 10-game lead is down to 4.5. But we are at game 83. We're more than halfway through this season. And Seattle Mariners are 4.5 games up on a division. I would have taken that before the season. Yes, it hasn't quite. It's been zigzaggy to get there. But they are there. And I think the day off tomorrow helps. I don't want to say the final stretch, but to me, the second half of the season really begins on Friday. Let's go get it. Let's keep this lead. Let's go lock it in. Let's win the AL West. Mariners win. Feels good. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to get out of here. Love you all. Take care. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.